Welcome to the SCLS podcast series, powered by Fortinus Events. SCLS is a global platform where logistics, procurement, and fulfillment leaders unite to shape the future of supply chain excellence. Join our conversations with industry pioneers and disruptors as they reveal the strategies and innovations moving the world forward.
Welcome to the Fortinus Events Global Podcast Series, where we connect with visionary leaders shaping a smarter, more sustainable world. In each episode, we explore the ideas, decisions, and innovations that are transforming our future. Today, we're going to be talking about warehouse automation, a topic that's not just reshaping operations, but redefining what's possible in intralogistics. Joining us today are two incredible, guests from AutoStore and Kardex, both playing key roles in the automation movement right here in Southeast Asia. So first, we have Sierra Wong. Congratulations on winning Women of the Year. Supply Chain Woman of the Year, by the way.
Thank you.
She's an industrial engineer who transitioned from construction to intralogistics, now with Kardex AutoStore in the Philippines. Sierra has been instrumental in setting up the first and only AutoStore installation in the country. A huge milestone. We're excited to unpack today.
The only AutoStore as of today.
The only AutoStore as of today. And alongside her, we're joined by Vignesh Krishnamoorthy, Regional Business Development Manager for AutoStore. With nearly a decade of experience in warehouse automation, Vignesh works closely with supply chain consultants and software providers to bring scalable, modular solutions to industries across Southeast Asia and beyond. So, Sierra Vignesh, thank you for joining us today. If you could just share a little bit about yourself and you.
Well, what else about me? Because you explained pretty much everything. So I'm Sierra. I've been in Philippines since about 10 years ago with different industry there. And it's always a pleasure to be in the Philippines, and we are definitely excited to be the one to build the first AutoStore here for Philippines. And it's not going to be the last. I'm not going to be the first or the last. It's going to be the first but not the last. I'm sorry.
No problem.
But anyway, our mission here is to ensure, the Philippines, the industry goes with the rest of the Southeast Asia. We do feel that Philippines in some way is somewhat neglected, with the spotlight now being in Singapore as always, and then Malaysia and Thailand. So we are always excited to be here and be part of the community and see how we can bring Philippines into the automation journey. Awesome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here back in the Philippines. As I mentioned earlier in my presentation as well, it's always good to be back in the country because 6 years ago I sold my first automation project here in the Philippines. Not so far from here, and it's more like homecoming. And it's a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction, Sarah and Vignesh. So to kick things off, so we know Kardex and AutoStore have been instrumental in the evolution of automated storage solutions. So with innovations like, the Kardex Shuttle, Megamat, and AutoStore's fleet-based automation, you've each, brought the unique technologies on top, right? So labor shortages and rising demands pushing through supply chains usually. So how is Kardex and AutoStore designing automation to complement human labor rather than replace?
Yeah, right, true. So we always say that, the automation is not solely to replace human. But what we are is we're moving human away from doing manual, menial tasks into something that is more fit for human in the way of safety and also to ensure they are used pretty well, right? So this is where automation comes in. Now, how do we move that with now today's world, right? We all order things online, most of us think online, right? So there's a lot of thinking involved. So we do not want human to do that part of the job. So how we come in is this. We have software, we have AutoStore, we have the Kardex middleware, we call it the Kardex fulfillment, right? That will fulfill 80% of the needs of any warehouse or any manufacturing facility. right? In your order fulfillment, in your picking activities, in your receiving activities. So where does the human comes in? Human will be the one that will now go into the computer side of things, the data side of things, to make sure things are running correctly, are doing the order fulfillment correctly. And if there is a bug, they will be the ones that will diagnose what will be that bug, that stop the robots. So we just elevate the human part into doing a role that is better than laying out right now.
I think just to add on top of what Sierra mentioned, I think I see it more like a human-machine collaboration rather than replacing them. And why I say this is by introducing automation, right? I think letting the automation or machine do the heavy lifting in a way, and the humans are more focusing on, let's say, improving the task quality checks or even operational excellence. So eventually, when you have something like an AutoStore for storage and picking, the focus is more for the robot to do the accuracy and the high speed, and the humans will take care of any exception handling. So I still see that it's a human-machine collaboration.
So you're basically elevating the human operations of it, while the robots use, convenient or whatever else that is, hard behavior. Yeah, what kind of concept? Okay, so just moving on to, I think, a topic that everyone talks about, sustainability. Sorry, never did that word. Big word. It's a big word. So, a lot of companies find that no longer optional. So, it's a core pillar for warehousing strategy nowadays as well. So, how are your solutions contributing to greener operations, whether through energy efficiency, space-saving designs, or even smarter inventory management? Okay.
So, this afternoon, I share about the electricity consumption of our customer here in the Philippines. In 6 months that they've been operating the AutoStore without any shutdown. So it was on all the time, right? The electricity consumed during the time was only about 210 kilowatts. So I shared that when I saw that number, I want to know what that means with what I'm using at home.
Right.
And I'm using 450, right?
For the normal man who do not understand this language, how do you compare that language?
Yeah. So it's, if I, with 2 humans in the house, right, and another 5 dogs, okay, that also uses a lot of electricity. If I am already using 450 and AutoStore for 6 months, accumulation is only 210. It's a very green technology. And Vignesh, you share that?
Yeah, so I would say on top of it, when you let's say implement something like AutoStore, automatically there are byproduct which is less space. So let's say an example like 100 square meters of space you use today, and then with AutoStore maybe 25 square meters if it counts. And that automatically reduces the amount of energy that you spend on lighting, fan, and so on. Now you have a workforce of, let's say, again an example of 10 people, and you are easily reducing by half in most cases, right? Because productivity is quite improved drastically. And when you have half the workforce, then anything that they use for electricity consumption is also half pretty much, right? So that's the byproduct of putting something like AutoStore. But also the robots come in with very less energy, like Sierra mentioned. So we typically, for a layman perspective, let's say, we typically say that 10 robots, AutoStore robots, consume as little energy as a vacuum cleaner at home. So just think of that, if you deploy high-scale automation, you still are not spending so much money on energy. And a high energy cost country like Philippines is a huge advantage to have.
Especially, like, I know in Philippines, you have a lot of typhoons, and then, electricity gets affected, the fact that it's, going on without that.
Exactly. And that's a big piece of our sustainability approach towards our customers as well.
And I think the other part is about the 5 module in AutoStore, right? Shouldn't today the customer saying, hey, I invest in an AutoStore and 5 years later their business model has changed and it's no longer a myth. All this can be dismantled, and there is a resale value, It's easily assembled back in the new, as the new AutoStore has another facility, not a problem. bring up an AutoStore and take it down and move it to somewhere else. It's not difficult at all. It's almost like a Lego toy.
Right, like very much get anything.
Yeah, Lego toy for super adults.
That's right.
I think especially with AutoStore, which is quite modular, I think there will be a time, not so near future, I would say, where the second-hand market for automation will be coming up. I think we already see that in our world. So 3PL, for example, they want to move from building to building, or maybe two TCS combined into a current company. We see that the demand for moving an AutoStore is happening. This also is part of the sustainable journey, right? Reusing resources and time.
Thank you so much for that. So now I know I'm just going to show you. So when it comes to let's say supply chain, right? So let's say from a toolbox, what do you represent supply chain? Like what do you represent? Like what do you
What in today's context?
Yeah.
I think data. We need data. In the past we have all hear all this horror story about improvement and thinking that would be that one silver bullet that will solve everything, right? But then we know also that becomes a relic where it doesn't fit, right? So how we approach things is always about we hear your problem, we see your problem, but what we want is the data first. We analyze the data, and then we go there to see your business, and then move from there. So, big data, people talk about big data and all those things. Actually, we always have the workers. The question is, take the time to analyze the numbers, right? And this is where we come in. And I can just sharing with him, since I joined the Intralogistics, my eyesight has become worse because of the amount of time we spend looking at data. I'm not complaining, We do get the high from looking at numbers, but I think data is very important. If you ask me what I should have on my toolbox, first is, of course, the data. The customer needs to give me the data, what I need, and I still need to improve on is the ability to use the full power of Excel, Power BI, to really make sure I capture all what I can.
Yeah, so here I was spot on with the data. I would just add something that is people see that not very relevant for hardware company like AutoStore, but I would say software piece, which is in my view is a good tool to have in the toolbox, because robotics doesn't come alone without software. And I talked about software because we have a control software that comes along with AutoStore that automatically controls all the robot movements. So we're getting a plug and play piece. And then to add on top of that, Kardex, so a partner comes up with their software to enable. So I would say software is a big piece in toolbox.
It's like the perfect release.
Yeah, exactly.
If there ever was one. Okay, Sarah, Vignesh, thank you so much for sharing your insights. I really appreciate your time. It's clear that Kardex and AutoStore are not just automating warehouses, but actually actively shaping the future of smart and sustainable intralogistics. Okay, so we're also very much excited to have Kardex and AutoStore be our silver sponsor for our 3rd annual Supply Chain and Logistics Summit. You can always catch them wherever, Philippines, Singapore,
LinkedIn.
So please add, like, share, follow. So yeah. Thank you so much, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.